Hello, dear students. Subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon. These points which I have presented here in this video are very important for your board examination. If you find these points helpful, try to copy it in your note copies. These points are written in simple language for your easy understanding. You can mix up your own ideas here in these points to beautify your answers. If you need more chapters of your course, check out my video's description. Suraj BHATT. Hello all my dear students, Hseb Suraj once again for you to help. Today I have brought an important chapter from the first unit of the book Encounters, which is In Another Country by Ernest Hemingway. Here in this video, I have presented this chapter's main summary points in both English and Nepali languages for you. I would like to request all of you to copy all these points into your note copies to secure fine marks in your NEB board examination. Ernest Hemingway's In Another Country in Nepali, presenting for you main summary points. Encounters, Class 12, SSCB NEB Board. यस पाठमा रहेका मुख्य पात्रहरू नम्बर फर्स्टमा एकजना अमेरिकन सैनिक रहेका छन् जो नामविहीन छन्। नम्बर सेकेन्ड, इटली देशका घाइते मेजर र अन्य सैनिकहरू रहेका छन्। नम्बर थर्डमा इटलीका नागरिकहरू रहेका छन्। नम्बर फोर्थमा कोबा क्याफेका केटीहरू रहेका छन्। त्यसै गरी मिलान हस्पिटलका एकजना डाक्टर रहेका छन्। यस पाठको मूल आशय घाइते सैनिकहरूको तीतो अनुभवहरू र युद्धको अमानवीय पक्ष हो। Let's start. In Another Country, अर्को देशमा. Ernest Hemingway's In Another Country is a short story which has given the account of war and soldiers. Ernest Hemingway को अर्को देशमा एउटा संक्षिप्त कथा हो जसले युद्ध र सैनिकहरूको लेखा दिएको छ। This story has presented the bad aspects of the war and soldiers. यस कथाले युद्ध र सैनिकहरूको नराम्रो पक्षहरू प्रस्तुत गरेको छ। The writer has presented the scene of very cold season of Milan, a city in Italy. लेखकले इटलीको एक सहर मिलानको अत्यधिक चिसो मौसमको दृश्य प्रस्तुत गर्नुभएको छ। This story is about the wounded soldiers of World War I. यो कथा प्रथम विश्वयुद्धमा घाइते भएका सैनिकहरूका बारेमा हो। The writer has even described the shops where animals and birds' dead bodies are hung outside the shops in a cold blow of autumn. लेखकले हिउँदको चिसो बतासमा पसलहरूको समेत वर्णन गर्नुभएको छ जहाँ जनावरहरू र चराचुरुङ्गीहरूको मृतक शरीरहरू पसल बाहिरपट्टि झुन्डाइएका छन्। In this particular cold season, the writer has introduced us with some of the soldiers who are wounded due to the First World War. यो विशेष चिसो मौसममा लेखकले हामीहरूलाई केही सैनिकहरूसँग परिचित गराउनु भएको छ जुन प्रथम विश्वयुद्धले गर्दा घाइते भएका छन्। In the cold season, we find these wounded soldiers going to their regular checkup to the army hospital of Milan. चिसो मौसममा हामीहरू ती घाइते सैनिकहरूलाई मिलानको आर्मी हस्पिटलमा आफ्नो दैनिकी जाँचको क्रममा गइरहेको भेटाउँछौँ। Among these wounded soldiers, the narrator is American soldier. यी घाइते सैनिकहरूमध्ये वक्ता अमेरिकन सैनिक हुन्। His fellow wounded soldiers are from Italy. उनी सँगैका घाइते सैनिकहरू इटलीबाट हुन्। During their treatment, they get closer and become friends of each other. तिनीहरूको उपचारको क्रममा तिनीहरू एक अर्काका नजिक हुन्छन् र साथीहरू बन्दछन्। The narrator describes about the cold season and even their daily routine of the hospital. वक्ता चिसो मौसमको र तिनीहरूको दैनिकी हस्पिटलको तालिकाबारे समेत वर्णन गर्दछन्. He reveals the bitter reality of the life of wounded soldiers. उहाँ घाइते सैनिकहरूको जीवनको तीतो सत्यबारे खुलासा गर्दछन्. The scene of attractive city Milan, different soaps, cold environment, etc. seems like an absurdist world for these wounded soldiers. आकर्षक सहर मिलान, फरक फरक पसलहरू, चिसो वातावरण इत्यादिको दृश्य यी घाइते सैनिकहरूका लागि एक अराजक संसार झैं देखिन्छ. Though all of them have received medals for their outstanding contribution in the First World War, they aren't well treated by the civilians of Milan. सबैजनाले तिनीहरूको उल्लेखनीय योगदानका कारण तकमाहरू प्राप्त गरेका भए तापनि तिनीहरूलाई मिलानका नागरिकहरूद्वारा राम्रो व्यवहार गरिँदैन. According to the narrator, there are two ways to reach the hospital. वक्ताका अनुसार हस्पिटल पुग्ने दुईवटा मार्गहरू छन्. The canal's way is a bit long, so they use the short way to hospital. नहरको बाटो अलिकति लामो छ, त्यसैले तिनीहरू हस्पिटलको छोटो बाटो प्रयोग गर्छन्. But the people whom they meet on the street way used to hate and criticize them. तर मानिसहरू जसलाई तिनीहरू गल्लीका बाटोमा भेट्छन्, तिनीहरूलाई घृणा र आलोचना गर्ने हुन्छन्. The narrator feels somewhat bad to live in another country. वक्तालाई अर्को देशमा बस्न केही नराम्रो महसुस हुन्छ. Whatever they receive, the life of Milan is a kind of bizarre and lifeless life for them. जेसुकै पनि मिलान सहरमा पाएको जीवन तिनीहरूका लागि विचित्रको र जीवनविहीन रहेको छ. The main narrator describes all the activities along with the fellow wounded Italian soldiers. मुख्य वक्ता सम्पूर्ण गतिविधिहरू साथै आफ्ना घाइते इटालियन सैनिकहरूको वर्णन गर्दछन्. He describes about the war, the environment of Milan, and even his fellow soldiers who are cut off from the First World War after being wounded. उहाँ युद्धको, मिलानको वातावरणको र आफ्ना साथी सैनिकहरूको वर्णन गर्दछन् जुन घाइते भए पश्चात प्रथम विश्वयुद्धबाट अलग पारिएका छन्. The narrator describes about his knee injury. वक्ता आफ्नो घुँडाको चोटको बारेमा वर्णन गर्नुहुन्छ. He confesses that he has got medal not for his bravery but for his wounded state and even for being an American. उहाँ स्वीकार गर्नुहुन्छ कि उहाँले उहाँको बहादुरीका निम्ति तकमा प्राप्त गरेको होइन, तर उहाँको घाइते अवस्था र एक अमेरिकन भएको नाताले प्राप्त गरेका हुन्. He even reveals that he is quite afraid to die. उहाँ मर्न निकै डराउनुहुन्छ भन्ने कुराको समेत खुलासा गर्नुहुन्छ. After this confession, his fellow wounded soldiers changed their view towards the narrator. यो स्वीकार गरे पश्चात उहाँका घाइते साथी सैनिकहरू वक्ताप्रतिको तिनीहरूको धारणा परिवर्तन गर्दछन्. The narrator says that he isn't courageous enough than that of these three hawk soldiers. वक्ता भन्नुहुन्छ कि उहाँ यी तीनजना बाज सैनिकहरू जस्तै पर्याप्त बहादुर नै छैनन्. He likes the fifth boy who has got the medal for being wounded, not for his bravery. उहाँ पाँचौं जवानलाई मन पराउनुहुन्छ जसले तकमा बहादुरीका निम्ति नपाई घाइते भई प्राप्त गरेको हो. He has been shot on his nose during First World War. उसलाई प्रथम विश्वयुद्धतिर नाकमा गोली लागेको हो. According to the narrator, these three soldiers wanted to become lawyer, painter and soldier. वक्ताका अनुसार यी तीनजना सैनिकहरू वकिल, पेन्टर र सैनिक बन्न चाहन्थे. The narrator doesn't put himself in their category. वक्ता आफूलाई तिनीहरूको वर्गीकरणमा राख्नुहुन्न. He likes the fifth soldier who uses black mask to cover his face. उहाँ पाँचौं सैनिकलाई मन पराउनुहुन्छ जसले आफ्नो अनुहार छोप्न कालो मास्क प्रयोग गर्दछ. He is one of the soldiers whose bravery isn't judged as the narrator. ऊ नै सैनिकहरू मध्येको एक सैनिक हो जसको बहादुरी वक्ता जस्तै साबित नभएको हो. The narrator gives the account of Milan's hospital, civilians, Coba Cafe girls and his fellow soldiers. वक्ता मिलानको हस्पिटल, नागरिकहरू, कोबा क्याफेका केटीहरू र आफ्ना सैनिक साथीहरूको लेखा दिनुहुन्छ. The narrator says that they used to spend their time in Kova Cafe. वक्ता भन्नुहुन्छ कि उहाँहरू आफ्नो समय कोवा क्याफेमा बिताउनुहुन्छ. They enjoy and even share their feelings. उहाँहरू आनन्द उठाउनुहुन्छ र आफ्ना मनमा लागेका कुराहरू समेत साटासाट गर्नुहुन्छ. The girls in the cafe are quite patriotic, though they don't have any experience about the inhuman aspect of the war. क्याफेका केटीहरू निकै देशभक्त छन्, यद्यपि तिनीहरूलाई युद्धको अमानवीय पक्षको कुनै पनि अनुभव छैन. They used to come out of cafe without having any fear of the civilians. तिनीहरू क्याफेबाट बाहिर नागरिकहरूको डरविहीन आउने गर्दछन्. Among his wounded fellows, he likes to talk more with the major. आफ्ना घाइते सैनिक साथीहरूमध्ये उहाँ एकजना मेजरसँग बोल्न बढी रुचाउनुहुन्छ. They all go to hospital to recover their legs and hands using the new machines. तिनीहरू सबै हस्पिटल आफ्ना गोडाहरू र हातहरू नयाँ मसिनको प्रयोग गरी निको पार्न जान्छन्. The doctor of the hospital uses to counsel them, showing different successful recoveries photos. हस्पिटलको डाक्टर तिनीहरूलाई फरक फरक सफल सुधारका फोटोहरू देखाई सम्झाउने बुझाउने काम गर्दछ. The major always exercises without any hope. मेजर बिना कुनै आशा सधैँ व्यायामहरू गर्नुहुन्छ. He doesn't believe in bravery too. उहाँ बहादुरीमा पनि विश्वास गर्नुहुन्न. During war he was a fencer. युद्धको समयमा उहाँ एक छेकबार सुरक्षाकर्मी हुनुहुन्थ्यो. He got injury in hand later on. पछि गएर उहाँलाई हातमा चोट लाग्यो. In hospital, Major tries to teach Italian language to the narrator. हस्पिटलमा मेजर वक्तालाई इटालियन भाषा सिकाउने प्रयास गर्नुहुन्छ. He always corrects the grammar of the narrator. उहाँ सधैँ वक्ताको व्याकरण सुधार्ने कार्य गर्नुहुन्छ. The major relates all his bitter experiences of his family life to the narrator. Major आफ्नो पारिवारिक जीवनको सबै तीता अनुभवहरू वक्तालाई बताउनुहुन्छ. After being wounded and cut off from the war front, Major married a young girl. घाइते भई युद्धबाट बाहिरिए पश्चात मेजरले एकजना जवान केटीसँग बिहे गर्नुभयो. But his wife died of pneumonia. तर उहाँकी श्रीमती निमोनियाले गर्दा मरिन्. His dream of living happy life shattered. उहाँको सुखीमय जीवन जिउने सपना ठुक्रियो. He became handicapped and even wifeless. उहाँ अपाङ्ग र स्वास्नीविहीन समेत हुनुभयो. He felt his life full of curses. उहाँलाई आफ्नो जीवन श्रापहरूले भरिएको जस्तो आभास भयो. The death of wife shocked him much. उहाँको श्रीमतीको मृत्युले उहाँलाई ज्यादै झट्का दियो. He was absent in barrack for 3 days. उहाँ सैन्य ब्यारेकमा 3 दिनसम्म अनुपस्थित हुनुभयो. He even uses a black band round his hand. उहाँ आफ्नो हातमा कालो फित्ताको प्रयोग समेत गर्नुहुन्छ. He doesn't have any concern with recovery photos of hands. उहाँलाई हातहरू सुधार भएका फोटोहरूको कुनै सरोकार छैन. He comes to hospital because he doesn't have any work to stay at home. उहाँ हस्पिटल आउनुहुन्छ किनकि उहाँलाई घरमा बस्न कुनै काम नै छैन. The major even suggests the narrator not to marry in life. मेजर वक्तालाई जीवनमा कहिल्यै पनि विवाह नगर्नु भनी सुझाव समेत दिनुहुन्छ. According to him, if we don't marry, we won't lose anything. उहाँका अनुसार यदि हामी बिहे गर्दैनौं भने हामीहरू केही पनि गुमाउने छैनौं.